Hello everyone, this is Miss Chelsea, and today we will learn how to solve systems of equations algebraically. The first method we will learn about is solving by substitution. The goal of this method is to substitute an equal value to create an equation with only one variable. Our first step is to pick an equation and get one variable alone. You can always use slope-intercept form, but there could also be an easier way sometimes. For example, getting x by itself instead of y by itself. Let's look at an example system of equations. Negative 4x plus 2y equals 8 and negative x plus y equals 2. Notice how you already have a positive 1y on the left? That means we can easily convert to slope-intercept form by getting rid of the minus x by adding x to both sides. Now our second equation is y equals x plus 2. Step 2 is to make the first substitution. We're going to substitute an equivalent value in to create an equation with only one variable. In this case, we're going to substitute in x plus 2 for y in the first equation. We can do this because y is the same as x plus 2 according to the second equation. We now have negative 4x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 2 equals 8. Since we've substituted, we can now do step 3, which is to solve for the first variable. In this case, the variable we are solving for is x. To do so, we need to get rid of our parentheses by using the distributive property. Now we have negative 4x plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 8. We can combine our like terms. Negative 4x plus 2x gives us a negative 2x. Now we have negative 2x plus 4 equals 8. This is a two-step equation. We can get rid of plus 4 on the left by subtracting 4, and whatever we do to the left, we got to do to the right. So now we have negative 2x equals 4. Divide both sides by negative 2, and we are left with x equals negative 2. Step 4 is to make the second substitution. We are going to substitute in that first value into the original equation. You can substitute x equals negative 2 into negative 4x plus 2y equals 8 or negative x plus y equals 2. However, I am going to substitute into y equals x plus 2. Now it is time to solve for the second variable. We have y equals negative 2 plus 2, which is 0. The final step is to write your solution as a point x comma y. Our x value is negative 2 and our y value is 0, so we have the point open parentheses, negative 2, comma 0, close parentheses. Make sure you always write points in this format. Finally, we are going to learn to solve by elimination. The goal of this method is to eliminate one variable by adding two equations together. First of all, make sure you stack the equations so that the x's are on top of each other, the y's are on top of each other, and the constants are on top of each other. In this example, negative 4x plus y equals 8 and negative 2x plus 5y equals 4, we already have the x's stacked, the y's stacked, and the constants stacked. Next, compare the coefficients of each variable in each equation. Here, the coefficients in front of x, well, the top one is 2 times bigger than the smaller one, and for y, the bottom one is 5 times bigger than the top. The next step is to get opposite coefficients in one variable. If you already have opposites, you can go straight to adding equations. If not, you need to look for a way to multiply one or both of the equations to make the coefficients opposites. You can make either the x's opposites or the y opposites. I am going to arbitrarily choose to make the y's opposites. Since the second equation has a coefficient of 5y, we will need to make the top coefficient 5 times bigger to get 5y as well. However, we don't want 5y, we want negative 5y so that they are opposites. That means we're going to multiply the top by negative 5. Whatever we multiply the y by, we're going to multiply the whole equation by. The top equation is now 20x minus 5y equals negative 40. After adding the variables, you should be down to one variable. 20x plus negative 2x is 18x, negative 5y plus 5y cancels out, and negative 40 plus 4 is negative 36. Here, our remaining variable is x. Now, let's solve for the first variable. Since 18x is equal to negative 36, we can divide both sides by 18 and get x equals negative 2. Next, we are going to solve for the second variable. To do that, we will need to substitute the value for the first variable into the original equation. You can choose to substitute into negative 4x plus y equals 8 or negative 2x plus 5y equals 4. I am going to substitute into the top problem. We now have negative 4 times negative 2 plus y equals 8. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. We now have 8 plus y equals 8, and to get y by itself, we need to subtract 8 from both sides, and we are left with y equals 0. The final step is to write out your solution as a point x, y. Our solution is open parentheses, negative 2, 0, close parentheses.